Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being with us here tonight. I'm going to talk to you about DHA, docosahexaenoic acid. I'd like to start off the speech with a quick survey. So I'm going to ask you if you've heard of a few things, and please raise your hand if you've heard of them. Has anybody here heard of fish oils? Great. Oh my God, almost all of you. Wonderful. Have any of you heard of omega-3s? Great. Oh, all of you as well. Does anybody know where we get omega-3s from? Anybody? Yeah, you want to tell us?
Fish.
Fish, yeah? What kind of fish?
Living fish.
Yes, living fish. But do you have a specific fish in mind? Or salmon, yeah, exactly. Oily fish, fatty fish. Great, perfect examples. So there are loads of different kinds of omega-3s. There are actually 11 different documented kinds, and the omega-3 in salmon is docosahexaenoic acid. And I have it up there. So my final question was, has anyone here already heard of docosahexaenoic acid? No one. Awesome. Wonderful. So that's wonderful. So that means that basically all of you are probably wondering what in the heck docosahexaenoic acid is, yes? Well, hopefully you'll be able to answer that in like roughly 5 to 7 minutes. Despite its name, it's not a drug. It's actually a nutrient. Although it's a nutrient with the potency of a drug. We obtain it from the diet, and there's no other way of obtaining it. So it's absolutely essential to internal human physiology. And we need to obtain anywhere between 500 milligrams and 2 or 5 grams of it every single day. That's immense. That's huge. I don't know if you realize how high that is. It's very, very difficult to reach that amount. And most of us in most Western diets are very, very deficient in DHA. And yet, it is associated with a wealth of health benefits. I cannot stress that enough. Oh yes, just a bit of biochemistry. What exactly is docosahexaenoic acid? And forgive me, I know I say it really, really fast. I'm just way too used to talking about it. But if we break it down, docosahexaenoic acid, in the simplest terms, it's a type of molecule. What kind of molecule is it? It's a lipid. What kind of lipid is it? A fatty acid. What kind of fatty acid is it? A polyunsaturated fatty acid. And what kind of polyunsaturated fatty acid is it? An omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid. And what kind of omega-3 polyunsaturated fatty acid is it? Docosahexaenoic acid. Did anybody get one word of that? Seriously, raise your hands. Did anybody catch that? That's good. That was the point. The point being, all of that is super scientific. And it's also quite a mouthful, so I'm just going to refer to it as DHA. What you need to know is that it's a healthy fat. It's a type of healthy fat, and it's absolutely critical to your body's functioning. For children, for adults, for grown adults, for the developing fetus as well, for pregnant and breastfeeding women, it's also particularly essential for them. So what are these famed health benefits of DHA? So there are so many of them that I literally cannot even recite them off the top of my head. Fortunately, we were allowed to have graphics. Seriously. So here on the right, you have diseases that feature among the 10 leading causes of death in the world. So they're written here. I would have loved to ask you guys, but off the top of your head, if I were to ask you what's the #1 leading cause of disease in the world, what comes to mind? Anybody?
Cancer.
Cancer is the 4th or the 5th. Cardiovascular, there we go, which includes heart disease and stroke, right? So heart disease is the leading cause of death in the world today, and that's a stable trend. It's been like that for 20 years. Stroke is the 2nd leading cause of disease, and interestingly enough, and through pure coincidence, that's where DHA shines brightest. Its most potent, most documented and researched health effect is for cardiovascular spectrum disorders. So if you are at risk, if any of you here in this room have familial history of high cholesterol, high blood pressure, anything related to heart disease, you especially can benefit from regular consumption of DHA. Time doesn't really allow me to go through all of them in detail, and I really wish I could, so please come and ask me questions at the end of the talk. But just quickly, if I skim through them, it has empirical support as being therapeutic in the context of cancer. Yes, literally, cancer, even though it's just a type of healthy fat. Diabetes, brain health, all kinds of brain health, mental health, cognitive health, and then other very, very specific kinds of disorders and diseases. And they're all mentioned here, and I'm happy to send my slides to anyone after. So my question is, why don't we know about this? If it has empirical proof for all of these health benefits, why aren't we all sousing all of our meals in DHA, right? Doesn't that make sense? Well, I don't know. Hopefully this speech will contribute to rectifying that. But how do you obtain DHA? Right, because that's the essential question. Through fatty fish. So you mentioned salmon, right? So that's like one of the prime sources of DHA. It's very, very high. Like one serving of salmon has roughly anywhere between 3 and 4 grams of DHA per serving. Again, that's huge. That's like unparalleled. Next, you get mackerel, herring, sardines, and anchovies. Those are the like 5 golden fish, the 5 like sources of DHA. If every single one of us in this room here tonight were to truly begin consuming these 5 fish regularly, so like maybe 3 times a week, we would be 70% less likely to develop all of those diseases on the previous slide. 70%, isn't that crazy? Just by consuming these 5 fish. It's amazing. And that's like my take-home message for you guys, really. Yeah, and I guess my closing thought would be the theme for this year's World Speech Day was Ideas for a Better World. I can think of nothing better than a world where everyone is healthy. And DHA can help accomplish that. Thank you.